If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:30 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. And now, normally, there it is, like right on cue. He's only 41 seconds late, but that's all right. Randy Siegel with the Space Report. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning. So I didn't know that I've been renamed Q.
Q?
Q.
Oh, yeah. You're right
There
on
you
Q.
go.
Yeah, your name's Q. Get it, Q?
Q.
Got it.
You're queued up, ready to go.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody, from hopefully a great weekend. It was 1992 when NASA launched its Extreme Ultraviolet Explorer satellite. That was a space telescope for ultraviolet astronomy. And then in 2011, they launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Russia the Soyuz TMA-02M spacecraft. It carried 3 individuals into orbit going to the International Space Station. And it was Sergei Volkov, Michael Folsom, and from Japan, Satoshi Furukawa. And they spent 6 months on board the station doing a lot of science and research work. Speaking about doing science on board the station, the astronauts spent the weekend doing quite a bit of science. They had been working on things such as symbolic squid and microbes with it, producing tougher cotton. Water bears went into space, developing better robot drivers, and they got their bonus power. The Dragon spacecraft, which docked to the International Space Station on Saturday on the far side of the station, brought with it brand new rollout solar arrays. This will give the space station a lot more power than they currently have. And they will be installed on June 16th and 20th by a couple astronauts who will do a spacewalk to attach them. We also saw SpaceX not sitting on its duff, but launching one more time. They launched yesterday from the Kennedy Space Center at 12:26 a.m. in the morning, our new satellite for Sirius XM. So Sirius XM now has a new satellite in orbit that they will check out before actually using to beam down their service. What makes this an interesting flight was that the first stage of the rocket previously launched Crew 1 and Crew 2 to the International Space Station. So they continue to save a lot of money by landing their vehicles on a drone ship. Most recent launch. So once again, they continue to do the right thing. Of Course I Still Love You, which is one of the drone ships, is now going to be positioned at the West Coast. It is going to leave Port Canaveral and head to Vandenberg Space Force Station in California, where it will be its new permanent home. A brand new vehicle will be positioned at the Cape, so you'll have 2 drone ships at the Cape and 1 in California. They hope to launch from Vandenberg Space Station this year to put satellites into orbit. Russia has named crews that will be flying to the International Space Station. The crews that they announced do not have any Americans on them. In the spring, they hope to launch the Soyuz MS-21 with Oleg Arseniev, Denis Medvedev, and Sergei Korsakov. And then in the fall, they will launch the Soyuz MS-22 with Sergei Prokofiev, the only female astronaut in the Russian program, Anna Karkina, and Dmitry Petlin. So those crews have now been established. Tomorrow will be a big day in the Senate because the vote will be taken on Senate Bill S-2060. That's the bill that contains a lot of different things, but also the 2021 NASA Authorization Act and the Space Act, which basically is a Space Situational Awareness Act. Although there have been amendments to the none of them have been adopted. The biggest thing to come out of this committee meeting will be whether or not the human landing system will be required to have a second partner working on it along with SpaceX. Currently, SpaceX has been given the role of being the sole contractor, but the Senate is saying we need two, which means spending additional monies on that lander. We also know that the next vehicle that will catch first stages from SpaceX will be called a shortfall of Gravitas. This is the one that will be replacing Of Course I Still Love You in space. The Ingenuity spacecraft, which flies on Mars, made another successful flight yesterday. Currently, it is standing 350 feet south of the current location from where it originally landed, and they continue to get very good science from that. The InSight lander that has been looking at earthquakes, or should I say Marsquakes, has had several that have been noted. And we also see that the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter is able to fly over and see the various objects on Mars so that when Ingenuity flies, it won't fly into danger. Speaking about being out in deep space, tomorrow, or actually today, at 1:35 p.m., NASA's Juno spacecraft will come within 645 miles of the surface of Jupiter's largest moon, Ganymede. The flyby will be the closest a spacecraft has come to the solar system's largest natural satellite since the Galileo spacecraft made its closest approach in May of 20. We also note that Russia is selecting new astronauts. The Russians have picked out 8 individuals to join the cosmonaut corps. They'll begin training for a year to 2 years before they actually will get a flight assignment. And if you recall, the last crew that they added to the training class, one of them flunked out. It turned out that they did not have the right stuff. The Russians have had Oleg Novitsky and Peter Dubrov, new science module that will be introduced to the International Space Station sometime this month, if all goes well. Russia was anxious to have them understand and know everything that's necessary when this new module joins the space station. The spacewalk that we saw the other day by the Russian cosmonauts designed to prepare it, the Pirs module, for being undocked and then having the new docking module launched. In a rather interesting move, the Russians are going to have a Soyuz Method of Progress vehicle docked with the Pirs module. Then they're going to launch the science module, keep it in orbit, and then have the Pirs module deorbited after the science module is attached. So we're seeing some space choreography that is very important, to say the least. Russia has made changes on the leadership at both Baikonur and the Vozhny Cosmodrome. The leadership changes were made in order to strengthen those facilities for future launches that will be taking place. Lastly, we want to tell you that Rusacosmos says that joint plans with the U.S. to further the space station may be hampered unless the sanctions against Russia are removed. Tomorrow, we're going to tell you about having your own crew recorded and Jeff Bezos going into space. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's Randy Siegel with the Space Report. He's on the program each and every weekday at this time, giving you the latest and greatest news about NASA. Time to take a trip out the front door, go in the parking lot, get in the car, make a right and a left, and before you know it, at the blink of an eye, you're right there in front of Ellie's Downtown Deli in downtown Stuart, Florida.
That's right. Boom, you're there. And St. Lucie County listeners, we welcome you to come to Ellie's Downtown Deli. It's on Colorado Avenue in Stuart. And, you know, they're famous for their fresh jumbo wraps. You got to have one. You got to try one. It's large. Try a Greek chicken wrap today. And your choice of a flour tortilla wrap, including tomato basil, garlic herb, and yummy. The spinach one is really good. But in this, you get your roasted chicken, olives, feta cheese, some banana peppers, some roasted red peppers, red onion, cucumbers, oregano, tomatoes, and mixed greens. Enjoy a fresh, cool side item of coleslaw, or maybe make it some fluffy, yummy potato salad, or a fresh hot bowl of soup today. At Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart, now with their patio back open, and they're at 50% dining inside with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're located at 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado in Stuart. Call them at 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
It is 8:42 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news, all brought to you by our good friends at St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. For the best deals in town, it's always St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Stop in and say hello to Hawk Levy. Let's go to the news desk one final time this morning. Here's Bonnie with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
And good morning once again. The last public school bell rings Wednesday in South Florida, but thousands of students won't have much of a summer break this year.
Thanks to the COVID learning slide, Broward and Miami-Dade are both offering free in-person summer programs for all grade levels to help those who have fallen behind. Miami-Dade Superintendent Alberto Carvalho says they're launching the Summer 305 adventure next Monday, helping students who had trouble academically, socially, and emotionally.
For those who have not fully engaged in distance learning, accumulated excessive absences, or whose status may warrant additional support in advance of the next school year.
Broward's already signed up more than 34,000 students for its program beginning June 21st. Wendy Grossman, Miami.
A serial mail thief in Florida has been sentenced to 10 years behind bars for stealing items from porches and mailboxes. Federal prosecutors said in a news release that 26-year-old Yunyar Blanco Pedroso that the sentence followed his March guilty plea to stolen mail possession. Evidence in the case indicated that Blanco Pedroso committed 10 porch burglaries in 2020 in Miami and Coral Gables. Investigators also say surveillance video showed that Blanco Pedroso followed mail delivery trucks, then stole mail from people's boxes and front porches. When arrested, investigators found packages, mail, and checks intended for other people in a blue BMW matching one seen on the video. At the time, Bianco Pedroso was on probation for a previous conviction for robbing a mail carrier, prosecutors said. Performing animal surgeries inside a high school classroom. It's happening at one St. Lucie County public school, preparing students for careers right after graduation. For veterinarian Dr. Alec Wynn from Okeechobee Veterinary Hospital, Neutering a dog is pretty routine, but for high school students at Fort Pierce Westwood Academy, it's a hands-on learning experience better than any textbook. I was monitoring vitals, said student Malachi Aria. So I was checking the heart rate to make sure the oxygen flow is good, checking the blood pressure. There are things that they have no words to tell you how to do it, said teacher Brittany Schoen. You have to see it. You have to experience it. Schoen is a graduate of the veterinary assisting program herself, now revitalizing it to make sure students get the exposure they need to land a job after they graduate. Getting to show them what I had as a passion is awesome, Schoen said. I can just see it in them that they have that same passion. They are wanting to be in the same field, so it's been a really good experience. The Treasure Coast Food Bank is taking action to make sure that kids don't go hungry this summer. The food bank is starting its summer meals program starting today with sites throughout the Treasure Coast, partnering with the food bank to provide fresh made breakfasts, lunches, and snacks to children throughout the summer. The program will feature sit down and grab and go meals for kids. The Treasure Coast Food Bank will send out its Market Fresh on the Move food truck to locations where access is limited so parents can pick up a week's worth of meals for their children. If you wish to view a list of all sites in Florida, go to summerbreakspot.fdacs.gov. Our news time is 8:46. Take a moment for sports. Joel Embiid came back from a knee injury to play, but the Philadelphia 76ers couldn't come back from a 26-point deficit against the visiting Atlanta Hawks, losing Game 1 of their Eastern Conference semifinals series, 128-124 on Sunday. Wow, though, did they make it close. Brooklyn Nets star guard James Harden is out for Game 2 against the Milwaukee Bucks on Monday with what the team is calling right hamstring tightness. The Nets, who lead the series 1-0, will also be without Jeff Green in Game 2. News time is 8:47. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$8:48 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, what do you got?
Well, traffic-wise, out on the Turnpike in Palm City, heading southbound at mile marker 138. This is at Becker Road. You're going to find a large box in the middle of the road. So, yeah, Turnpike, southbound, mile marker 138, Palm City. And use some caution in that area, but we're not finding any accidents to report, and that's a good thing. There's your latest look at traffic. And it's 81 in Stuart this morning. It's 76 in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Here's our weather from WPTV.
Happy Monday sunshines, waking up to temperatures in the mid to upper 70s under partly cloudy skies. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s, partly sunny skies, 10% chance for an isolated shower, breezy winds out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s with a 20% chance for a few showers. Very little day-to-day changes through the end of the work week, highs in the upper 80s with low rain chances. For the weekend, highs in the upper 80s, about a 30% chance for showers and storms.
I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
It is 8:53 right now on the Get Up and Go show. And, I would be remiss if we didn't have Linda L. Salisbury on the program, the plant lady.
Because, she is usually with Mr. G and Ray, and usually right around 7 o'clock in the morning with them, right?
Yes.
And so we didn't want anybody to miss her. And so we are awaiting for her call.
Well, she's there.
Oh, she is.
Good morning. I'm here.
She's there live and in living color in all her blunder. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
How are you, dear?
I'm wonderful. I
would catch holy heck if I did not have you on the show.
Oh, well, we don't want that, do we?
No. Because
Maybe
if you're not on the show, it's just not right.
I know.
So we have to make sure we keep
become a permanent fixture.
Well, yeah, we have to make sure we keep our Port St. Lucie listeners happy,
And let's give them a visual. Are you wearing your pink hard hat today for us?
No, but I have a dress covered in ladybugs.
Okay.
Really?
Well, that's
yes,
better.
I do.
Interesting.
Better
okay.
than cicada bugs.
All right, yeah, that's true.
I scared Evan to death when I came to the studio.
You did. You scared the bejesus out of me.
All that color just woke you right up.
Yeah.
Evan did get really scared that morning. Linda came in.
She
She was right in the
startled
doorway.
me.
Evan did not know that she was there. However, I did. I was keeping it a secret until
Yes.
Evan turned around and I never. And his skin went so white. It was like a whiter shade of white.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
And
That's all I'm gonna
he
say.
yelled a little bit too.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? So anyway, what advice do you have? What knowledge do you bring to us today? So our listeners in the 3 or 4 minutes that we have with you this morning.
Well, I'd like to share a wonderful thing in my life, if that's okay with you.
Well, I'm right here. You could talk about that.
All right. Okie dokie. I have been giving lectures at the Lakewood Park Library.
Oh, I saw
for
your post about that. That's so exciting news.
Well, they closed down for COVID,
Right.
As all good citizens do.
Right.
And they let me know that we can start up again in January. And I'm so excited because it's one of my very favorite things to do.
Oh, my God.
I get to meet people. I get to talk about plants. It's a wonderful thing. So in
Yay.
January, we start up again.
So
That's great.
They can come and meet you right in person for this event,
In
Linda.
Person.
Oh.
And it's going to be 4:30 to 5:30 or 6. We haven't quite decided yet.
Mhm.
And some people call it information mixed with shenanigans.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yes, yes.
And ladybugs.
And one woman said she learns things, but she comes for the sideshow. I don't know what they're talking
Sideshow.
about.
Sideshow. You're no sideshow. You're the main event.
I'm not.
Jeez.
Hey, that's what I should have said. That's a good one,
Right?
Evan. That's a good one.
Thank you. I'll take the royalties for that one.
Well, today I'm going on my 3rd or 4th round of raking leaves. I'm so tired of it. Every time I'm sorry, Garden, I am. Every time there's a big wind, I get lots and lots of leaves on the ground because some of my trees are deciduous.
Okay.
And because the weather has not had any huge dips up and down, they've hung onto the tree as long as they can, but then a big wind comes along and I have to rake more leaves.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
End
I
of the
know,
world.
poor me.
You
End
gotta
of the
start
world.
all over again.
The end of the world.
Poor Linda. Poor Linda.
Yes.
Hey, Linda, you know
How come-
what's a cool thing I heard this week? Like,
Yeah.
for those that are about to enjoy a cicada to eat for lunch,
Oh dear.
one of those, one of
Crunch.
those bugs that came out. Well, I guess like if you are allergic to seafood, any kind of seafood, do not enjoy a cicada bug because they have some of
Oh.
the same situation going on as like your fish does and your salmon if you're allergic to that.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah. Some-
interesting. And that makes absolute total sense
It does?
because the cicadas have been around for millions of years, and places like Florida, were at 3 million years ago, was underwater. So, you know,
Yeah, so are the sea urchins, right? So I
Yes.
guess that does make sense. Yeah.
it does.
Wow.
Not that I would have put it together, but I'm glad you did.
And it's not like I've been craving one anyway.
I don't
Well, there's
really
the
wanna
music,
eat my-
Linda. Unfortunately, we gotta be like yesterday's kitty litter and get out of here and get a new fresh batch of litter in the box for tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Right, a Rooney.
No, that's all right.
We use Fresh Step. You should use that on
Yeah.
for your kitty, Linda. They love Fresh Step.
Let me check my schedule. Maybe we'll have you back Friday at 8:00 in the morning for the 8:00 hour.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
get
free
with you.
Friday, so if you can,
All
let
right.
me know.
It's a date. I'll let you know.
All right.
Have a great day. That's
You also.
That's
Bye,
Linda L.
Ken.
Salisbury, Florida 16 at Gmail. You can call or text our cell phone, 206-909-7473. See, I remembered all that.
I know.
I'm
That's
looking at the business card.
very sharp memory. No, you had me in awe for a moment.
Yeah, well, I faked you out. Anyway, hey, listen, if you have good values on the inside, you won't look for validation on the outside. Folks, have a great day.
Yeah, it's turning out beautiful. Just enjoy.
Yes, we're WPSL, Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast, and WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Thanks for letting us into your homes on a blended show. Gene and Ray will be back tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.